ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the premier podcast that features R&B talk with a hip hop soul. This is A&N on R&B. I'm your host, Karev, along with two of the best podcast hosts you can get on any podcast. Sir, introduce yourself. He's over there.
This way, brother. It's your man Nas Romantic. I'm here with you. Hey, we got a nice show for you today. I ain't gonna call it nice, man. We got a exciting show for you today, man. I can't wait for our guests to come on so we can get this thing moving.
All right, and we have the transcendent beauty on the scene. Introduce yourself, young lady.
What is up? I am Nika LaDean, and yeah, we got a good show tonight. Real good show tonight. No, great show tonight.
Classic show on the run. So with that being said, we're missing one person. I want to give a shout out to Big A. He's on his way doing Big A things, and he's something. So when we get that figured out, we have a special guest that we're waiting to pop in. For everybody who's here now, thank you for joining. Make sure you hit the like button. That's a must. Hit the like button so everybody knows where you are, that we know that you're there. Also, you could comment, become a part of the live show by leaving your words, your comments, and let's give them something to look at before we go. First and foremost, if you're on following A&N on R&B, follow us on Instagram at A&N on R&B on IG. Make sure when you're on YouTube, like the like button, hit the like buttons, comment, share the video, subscribe, hit the bell for the notifications, hit all. And if you want to give us some cash, hit $ Heritage Hip Hop on the Cash App. Let us know that you're out there supporting us and that you would like to see more A&N or R&B. And today's topic, we're going to be talking about what exactly? Y'all forgot?
We're talking about the essence of a woman tonight, right?
The essence of a woman. And to perfectly highlight the essence of a woman, we have somebody who I love. Let me tell y'all something. Nika, you know when I talk about how I love somebody, how it's genuine.
Yes.
It ain't nothing crazy, y'all, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't nothing crazy, but she knows how I used to love Lisa Fisher.
Yes.
Karen Wheeler.
Yes.
This is one of the few artists that I've met that while doing heritage hip hop that I had a chance to really fall for. It's not, ladies and gentlemen, if you only fall for a woman over her looks, not only are you shallow, you stupid, because you're missing the soul and the embodiment of what makes her feminine and divine.
Repeat that. Say it louder for the dudes in the back who did not hear you. Can you repeat that just one more good time?
Yeah, hit the like button and y'all can hear it on the replay. but most importantly, this young lady, see, when I saw her, yeah, she looks good, whatever, fine. But it was a freestyle that she did that made me go, damn, she's spitting. It was a second freestyle. My favorite one she did was Wishing on a Star, because it's one of my favorite songs of all time. You know what I'm saying? Outside the Rolls Royce. And the way she hit the freestyle, it made me say, this is one of the people that I want to invest in, not just my time. I gave money to her brand as well, because I buy the music. You know what I'm saying? And then hearing her speak by doing an interview with her before on Heritage Hip Hop, I believe not only is she genuine talent, she's genuine heart, genuine soul, and she's the embodiment of what you want an artist to be. Someone that you can relate to, someone you could connect with, and someone that you want to grow with, because the growth of their talent not only gives you good music, but it makes your insides grow too, because you have the understanding and appreciation of a genuine soul. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you Queen Neveah.
Yes. The queen is here.
Period. Queen Neveah is in the building. What's going on, y'all? How we feeling? How we living?
Oh, we living large over here. You know how we do, girl.
Yes, I love it. Well, thank you for having me, first and foremost. I appreciate y'all.
Oh, no doubt, man. And to anybody who doesn't know, Neveah is one of the best female artist out of the state of New Jersey right now. Mind you, I didn't say rapper, I didn't say singer, I said artist.
Artist.
We're going to talk about art, and
Period.
it's a pleasure for me to finally get to introduce you to one of your biggest fans, because this man right here listens and talks about you all the time, respectfully, of course, musically. Before we
I
start,
appreciate that.
we have the genuine article. The bad boy is in the room. What's up? What's up? Introduce yourself, sir.
What's going on, Big A? I'm love to be here. Glad to have you here in Neveah. Queen Neveah.
That's right.
Period. Nice to meet you. Thank you for hopping on. We outside.
All right. So today's show, ladies and gentlemen, it's Women's History Month, and
Yes.
the thing I hate about history is we always talk about the past, and we don't talk about the people that make history today.
Right.
You know, everything's so black and white, and when you look at real life, the black and white is not what you experience, is what you remember. Today's show, we're going to talk to a great artist about not only how she makes history, but what we appreciate about the women in our lives and the history that they have made. So, giving everybody a chance, I'm going to introduce everybody, let them go. Nas, why don't you tell us about one woman in history or in your life that made history with you, that changed your outlook and perspective on how you look at life or appreciate life as it is?
Shoot, I got to be my mom, man.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely my mom, man, because I see, like, I know everybody says about her mom, about their mother, but like she's one of the strongest people I've ever met. She's one of the strongest people I've ever met, man. You know, she raised me up. Even now, she's one of the most giving. She gives her all for the people she loves, man. Literally, it gets to the point where I have to tell her, like, yo, man, like, slow down. Like, let me help you out with a couple of things here and there. Like, you get to, like, she'll even try to do the heavy lifting. Like when I take her shopping and stuff like that, I gotta be like, yo, mom, chill out. Let me get this. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Like, she takes care of my grandmother. You know, she runs back and forth to hold down basically 2 households, man. Like, and that's tough. So, like, mom, you see this, man. Kudos to you, man. You're one of the strongest people I've ever met.
All right. Shout out to mom. Love you, mom. May the Most High bless you
Definitely
eternally.
shout out to mom.
Nika, how about you? What's one woman that has made history or defined life for you in the way we appreciate your life that much more?
Okay, this is no like disrespect to your mama, Nas, or anything like that. But my mama is like the best mama on this side of the planet. And I think my mom has proven in the past 2.5 years to be the strongest woman I know. Anybody who has y'all have probably never seen me cry on the show, but my mom was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer in June of 2020, and she has had a sequence of surgeries. And I mean, my brothers know my journey with my mom and my story, but the other day I had to remind her. I was like, do you know how strong you are? She said, yeah. And I said, so you know that giving up is not an option. Ooh. It's like, you know that giving up is not an option. And she said, yeah. In the past few days, she's been feeling amazing. But just to watch her, my mom had surgery where they actually cut open her intestines, like took part of it out that had a tumor, put it back together, and sewed her back up. Wow. One Friday, and the following Friday, she was outside planting flowers like nothing. Like it was nothing. So, yeah, my mom is the epitome of strength. And I can't really, yeah, that's all. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to cry.
Hey, it's all
I'm
good.
trying to get it together.
It's all good.
You did great.
It's
Look, shout out.
good.
May the Most High bless your mom eternally, forever, and may she live strong and well. So, mom, you know we love you, mom. This is for you.
And she loves y'all too.
That's what's up. Big A, how about you? Who's one woman that defines history for you or makes you appreciate it to the point where it made your life better in some way?
I can't say just one because I was fortunate growing up to have more than one mom. I had my mom, my natural birth giver mom, and I had three godmoms. And they all took a liking to me as their son, not only son, but their important son. And when my mom, my natural mom, passed away, my other moms, they stepped up to the plate for real. They didn't just have the title, and because my mom died early on in my life, so my moms, they stepped up and made sure I was good, and always made sure I say mom number three, she made sure I had clothes and everything for college my freshman year because my mom was no longer living. Mom number two was always their emotional support anytime I needed to talk about anything. And mom number three was there just in the cut, like, yo, I see what's going on. I talked to your pops. She was like FBI mom. She knew everything that I didn't even tell her. Like, I'm like, how the heck? Like, yo, she was definitely mom on point. So I can't just, I can't just say one mom because my natural mom was always there for me till she died, and her and my father. But I was blessed to have multiple moms and multiple strong women in my life to stand up and show me what it takes to, exemplify the word courage. One of my moms, before she passed, she had a stroke, and I had to watch her battle that. And now, that was really rough to see somebody who's always been strong for you. You had to be strong for them, and it's just something to see. So, not to get all emotional, because
y'all all mushy mush bags.
I never
Mary J, I'm not gonna cry, but
all right. Well, look, let's take it to the guests. Queen Neveah, a crown is very important, but someone had to be an example for your crown. Who was the person that inspired you and made your life better and made history with you?
I definitely have to say it's definitely more than one person, but starting with my mom, she, man, everything I know about going through the hardship and coming out on top, everything I learned is from her, watching her as a child, seeing her struggle with certain things and not allowing that to affect like our relationship and how she raised me and things that she's instilled in me still to this day that I carry around as Queen Neveah. My confidence, like she's so alpha, she's so just headstrong. And I learned a lot of that from her. And that she learned that from my grandmother, and just I come from a bloodline of just very, very strong, beautiful Black queens. And I have to represent well. So, my mom, my grandmother, my aunts, everybody plays a part. It always takes a village, so, all of that carries within me all the time. So shout out to my mom. I know she watching, she listening in. Shout out to you, mom.
Shout out to all the moms on here. See,
all the moms. This is mom love.
I ain't taking that. Look, I ain't taking that route. My history lesson and my personal history for me is my preschool teacher, Miss Jackson. And it's because of her, I like ponytails and eat chicken. Because she took me to the house and she gave me chicken. Miss Jackson set the tone for what is beauty for me until I met Miss Baez.
Miss Baez. We all know about Miss Baez.
At the end of the day, let me tell you something. The women who are great in your life are your mom, of course, your grandmas, or whoever women in your family. It's always for a man going to be his first crush, and it's going to lead to his wife. So I'm gonna end off there with my wife is my example, because you never know the strength of a woman until she becomes a mother. Oh. And I want to just say, because everybody shouted out their moms and everything, let me tell you something. To all the moms out there, especially the good mothers, there's no thank you that's going to be high enough There's no reward that can be given. You were given a title and a job that only the Most High can provide, and we honor you all by saying thank you for not only giving birth, but providing hope and providing examples of what it is to be loved, not just say you love. So shout out to the moms right there. All right.
Yes.
Now
yes.
let's get off all this mushy stuff. We have a guest, ladies and gentlemen. We got to focus on her, and that's what we're going to do right now. So let's put up on the screen. So this is how this works. We are going to ask you some questions, of course, and we are going to. I'm gonna direct the panel one by one to ask some questions, and we're going to give you our best because we want to honor you as not only, like I said, an artist, but this is International Women's Month, and you are one hell of a woman, period. So, Nika, take it away.
Thank you.
No doubt, woman to woman. What you want to ask Miss Queen Neveah?
Yes, you know what? I got to start off with something that I'm big on bars. I'm going to go ahead and throw that out there. It's like I'll listen to music and the beat might be good, but I'm listening to what they got to say. So, yeah, I did some Queen Neveah research and, listen to some bars and got some. I was like, yeah, this girl is spitting right here. All right. So one of the things I actually took. I don't want to talk about the one that I want to talk about because I got to save that one for later. Anyway, there's a song and Karev actually pointed it out. It's called Stars, and of course it samples Rolls Royce's "Wishing on a Star." Love that song, right? But
yes,
one of the lyrics that you say, one of the bars that you have is travel around the world just to find out where you are. Maybe that's a stretch though, but when you're in love, it ain't no telling how far you go. How does that relate to, first of all, I think women tend to think that a little bit more than men when it comes to relationships, but how does that define love for you? Does that make sense? Is there a depth to that?
Definitely depth to it. I feel like that was something that was a freestyle. It wasn't even a song, which is crazy. I wrote that. I wrote that trying to get through to somebody I was with at the time, and I felt like I feel like women, we put out so much, like we're so invested because we're just emotionally tapped in by nature, so we just sometimes we give a little too much, and maybe that's a stretch though, but shit, when you in love, excuse my language.
You can cuss. We cuss.
In love, okay.
I cuss.
As you heard, I get to it too. But like I feel like us as women, we give so much and we do so much, but it's like, damn, when you in love, it's like I can't help it. I can't help how I feel, how much I want to be a part of you, connected to you, around you, within you. Like I just want to be. You know what I mean?
Right.
And sometimes we don't know how to express that correctly for the other partner to understand or reciprocate, which is fine. But I'm very passionate and I love hard, and I know a lot of women do that as well. So that was like that thing, like, you know what I'm saying? Like travel as far as I need to go, like to make our love work, Right. You can relate, I'm sure.
When I heard that, it was like, man, I connect to that because when you love hard, like a person who does not love hard would never understand that because, the way I felt about it was people would say, if you want to go, leave. But if you really love that person, I mean, you got other songs like, hell, Boyz II Men was singing, please don't go away from me. Like, begging this person to be in your life.
Which they don't make that music no more, by the way, but yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
All right. I don't want to get on this. We have this whole girl energy and everything. So I got to give the guys time. But I have.
Okay, give them some. That's fine.
Nas, pick up. What's your question?
All right. I see you come from both sides of the spectrum. The spectrums to me are hip hop and R&B. And I see it's a lot of both in your music. Now, what I wanted to know is, like, what spectrum did you enter the music game in? Was it the R&B side or was it the hip hop side?
Well, I'm I'm gonna rein you in real quick. So where I started in music in general is I have a musical theater degree. So I went to school for music.
Wow.
That was my first love of everything. Since I
Oh
was
wow.
5. I grew up just listening to Broadway. Always been inspired by music in my family. My dad grew me up listening to doo-wop and that 50s era, 60s era. My mom with Motown, so I was always influenced by music. But theater, that's my first love, performing. So that's what got me into like stage and performance. And then it shifted into now I'm writing my own stuff with the R&B. So that's how I got into the industry like that, as R&B, but not taking it as serious as I am now as an artist. But my focus point right now is rapping at this time, because I just felt like I've catered a lot of my life to singing, and I wanna level up in all aspects of my life. So this is where I'm tapped in right now. But singing and R&B, that's always my first love. So that's where I got into the industry with R&B. But my first love ever was Broadway, musical theater. That's home for me. Yeah.
That's dope.
All right, Big A, step
Yeah.
up.
All right. First of all, you are gorgeous and very photogenic.
Oh,
Do
thank
you
you.
have
I appreciate
do
it.
do you have a personal photographer that does your stuff?
I do. Shout out to Joey. Made you look photos. That's my dude. He's with the Arena Podcast. They're located out in Jersey too.
Okay.
And I got a videographer. Shout out to Mr. Keys. I'm pretty sure some of y'all familiar with him. He's super dope. So but I'm always willing to work. I'm always open to vibe and networking
Okay.
with different people. But yeah, yes, I do. Yes.
Only reason I asked is because I checked out your body of work, your pictures that you have online, and even on the self-titled Queen Neveah, the pictures that are in the letters, like they're not like regular typical pictures. And I know that from being a photographer myself. And I'm like, yo, she's
Absolutely.
very photogenic, but it looks like she has somebody that she works with. I take notice of that. And even your artwork, you have
Absolutely.
a consistent art graphic designer that you seem like you work with. Yeah, I could
Yeah.
tell that from
Yeah.
based on your artwork. So my other
Thank you for
question
being
is,
so observant.
oh, I'm very observant. I'm observant of everybody and everything.
Yes.
Shout out to A for 2 questions. Go ahead.
Yes. Just I'm gonna take a different route because I know a lot of people with different lifestyles. You definitely aren't shying away from the fact that it seems like you're affiliated with the Crips.
Mm-hmm.
And with so much negativity with the gang life, because there's two sides of it, that most people don't know about. It's a positive and there's a negative, like everything else. How has it affected you as a songwriter versus a lyricist?
I tap in a little bit. I don't want to put it out as much. I think I don't, and that's one of the reasons why I don't tap in as much, because I don't want people to associate me like, oh yeah, she's that Crip rapper. You know what I mean? Like, and a lot of people do that. You get caught up in the what you're affiliated with, who you're affiliated with, who you down with. Um, I'm I'm in my 30s, you feel me? So
Mm-hmm.
it's a different time to be in. You can't be out here grown as hell talking about like that's wild, that's crazy. There's way much more to say, at least for my story.
Mm-hmm.
So I let it be known because that's a part of my history. It's where I've come from. But there's already a genre of that being dealt with. Like there's music for that, you know? I don't make gang related music. That's not me. I'll speak upon it because that's my truth, but I'm not, yeah, like I got way more to say than that, as you can tell. So I think for me as a lyricist, it's really not lyricism when you know what I mean? Like it hits a little different. Like when you're talking about gang life and different situations, there's some things you just don't want to talk about. You know what I mean? Especially
Mm-hmm.
being a woman, you know? It's a different perspective when you're talking to a man that's in it and a woman. You know what I mean? There's a stereotype of women getting down with it and what they had to do and there's all types of stuff, you know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
instead of tapping in and giving people a focus on that, for me, know what it is, know what I'm about, but that's not Queen Neveah, if that makes sense.
Nah, speak
Okay.
up.
All right. So in your song off your Rising Phoenix album, Rising Phoenix, I think at
Yeah.
the end of the song you said this is a healing for me. Now, do you believe
Mm-hmm.
that music either that you wrote or anybody else has performed, is that like a type of therapy? Do you believe that could be a type of therapy for you as far as healing?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That song specifically, it was the song Rising Phoenix on Rising Phoenix EP. That song
Mm-hmm.
specifically, that's kind of what kicked off Queen Neveah for me. It was a healing song. I went through something very traumatic in my personal life. And I hit rock bottom, and I didn't know how to pull myself out. So instead of resulting in I guess retaliation, or you know, getting my payback, I wrote. Like, I went home, got a fifth of Hennessy, cried, did what I had to do, but I got through it.
Yeah.
So that was like a very healing moment for me. And when I finally recorded it in the studio, I cried, like, because it felt so good to like finally get out. I'm like, now I don't have to hold this in. Now everybody gets to hear what I just went through. You know what I mean? So it hits different. It really does. So yeah,
Nika,
music, all of that is a natural healing.
Dope.
Nika, you're done.
All right, so told you I'm big on bars, and I'm mad at Adiyar for holding up that Hennessy bottle like we getting paid but by sponsorship or something. But I'm just saying, like, he was like he just holding up bottles and stuff. Again, going back to some lyrics that you wrote, and kind of thinking about something that Nas just said. You have this R&B kind of background, you have this hip hop background. Where did they come together? One of the lyrics that you said in one of your songs, which was actually Mic Drop part one. He says, as a child, I grew up feeling like I never fit in. Too white for the black folk and too black for the white skin. It's hard enough being a woman, right? And then when you've got when you're biracial, that adds a whole different element to it. Now, I'm not biracial. I'm black, and I get it hard enough as it is. So, like, I always say, like, people are like, "Are you mixed?"
Right.
I'm like, "Yeah, my mom is black, my dad is blacker than my mom." So, like, like my mom's a red bone, my dad's dark skin. I don't know what y'all want, but
Oh man.
growing
That was
up,
great.
I mean, they made a good mix. I might say so myself, but being biracial and being a woman, how did that affect you as a child? Because I think there was a part where you said you felt isolated, like you didn't fit in with anybody.
Mhm.
And now as an artist, do you notice that same thing as an artist, where it's kind of hard to fit in as a woman and being biracial?
Good
Yeah.
question.
I've experienced that all my life. It was like, and I could talk about it now because I'm older, but like growing up, even with my own family, like nothing that they did, but just, it was just always that thing. Like, it was like, I have to tone this down a little bit when I come around this side, and maybe I got to turn it up a little bit more when I go on this side. Like, it was like that even in school. Like, we, growing up, the only thing we saw was, the Puerto Rican people, Spanish people, Dominicans, Egyptians, but it wasn't like a lot of biracial, especially mulatto,
Right.
not at all. So everybody mistakenly thinks that I'm Spanish. So they start talking to me in Spanish, and I'm getting offended and mad. Like, what you talking about? Like, no. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I dealt with all of that all my life, and it was harder as a kid growing up, because I just always felt like I didn't have, you know what I mean? I'm like bouncing here, I'm bouncing here, but I didn't feel like secured. Like, I didn't have my crew. I was all over, As an artist now, it's funny because I feel like sometimes when I'm performing like certain things, like I'll kind of see the audience of who's gonna be in the mix, and if I get more of the Caucasian side, I may do like a little chill hop. I may do like a mic drop or something not too crazy, or a gotta know or something. But if I know it's like amped up, I'm definitely doing All Hail the Queen. I'm doing Highway. We getting lit, like, because I see the difference. I feel the energy.
Right.
But the funniest thing about all of it is nobody ever thinks I'm mulatto. They take me as Puerto Rican, Dominican, So it's like when I go up, they're like, "Who this? This little Puerto Rican chick saying nigga," and it's just like, chill, relax, gotta relax. All right. But that's just the world we live in. Everybody's just instantly judging. I look at you, you look like this, and that's what you is. Like, that's how I'm associated with you. But yeah, so I still deal with it, but not as much as a kid, because I feel like you see it everywhere now. Everybody in my life, everybody got a biracial baby. Like, the whole world eventually is going to be strictly biracial kids. Like, it's not going to be of one race. It's going to be multiple races, because
they're all gonna they're all gonna belong to Nick Cannon. So
and there you go, and that's it. We're all gonna be kids. That's fine. He got money, so hey, we taking care of, sis. We good.
I was gonna say.
Oh my!
All the kids are gonna be either half black or they're gonna be whole black. Like Kiki Wyatt's just popping out black kids, and
man,
Nick Cannon is just giving mixed kids away. So I'm sorry.
Jesus. All right.
And I'm supposed to be the bad guy, huh?
Oh God.
Well, say hello to the bad guy.
I'm gonna ask a question now. Oh my God. I'm gonna ask a question now. Neveah, no secret. I love you to death, right? I will always support you, because at the end of the day, you come from your heart and your soul, not just coming to the stage as somebody who wants to impress or sound good. And I want to ask you, when you have so many people who fight for you, there's a proving ground that comes with that. When was the first time you showed up and showed out, and everybody who wanted to protect you had to fall back and know that you had it, and you could fend for yourself when it comes to your art and your music?
That's a really good question. I definitely would say when I just opened up for Styles P, it was a lot going on. It was in New York, you know what I'm saying? I had my Jersey crew come out. I rock with Respect the Grind. Shout out to Respect the Grind team out in New York. And they had a whole event, and we were the official openers for Styles P. So it was like my Respect the Grind family that just got down with, and now it's like my Jersey team, like, act, rap, my makeup artist, my photographer, my video, like everybody from Jersey. So it was like, that was the first time that it was outside of Jersey, and a big event like that. Like, I'm opening up for Styles P. Like, this isn't just like some, okie doke rapper. Like, this is a legend. You know what I mean? So it was huge, and it was so packed. And when I was on stage, like, I feel like all my people, they just like shifted. They kind of just like let it be, because you couldn't get to the front. When I was performing, everybody was just cameras, like, ooh, who is she? Like, and my team still held it down. They knew what time it was, and I think that they know the type of artist and person I am. You don't have to worry about me. You know what I mean? You don't have to watch me. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna get the job done. I'm gonna deliver. You know what I mean? But I think that was that moment where it was like everybody collectively came for Queen Neveah, and one had to take a backseat for the other, but still let me rock, because they know. You know what I mean?
I respect that. And in the vein of Big A, since I'm going to ask two questions now, I'm going to ask you this question before we go to the segments. Is this: the growth that you've taken as an artist has not only shifted how people respect you, but it shifted how people hear you. Since you see people have seen or heard your growth, what have you noticed different within your following and your fan base since you've been releasing new music and freestyles and doing new performances?
I've actually started getting more followers and more networking more with my demographic. Starting out in the beginning, it was, you get people here and there, but now it's like I'm getting more indie labels following me and DJs following me and different podcast stations and different artists with bigger followings than me, and just there's the growth in that as well, like just the demographic of the different people that are connected with me now. It's like, okay, it's time, like, you know what I mean? Which is crazy that you actually asked that, because I didn't even like think about that. Like, we get so caught up in ourselves that we don't sit down and be like, what have I done this far? Like, what has changed? What has grown within me as an artist from A to Z right now? You know what I mean? Because we're always on go. What's next? I gotta do better. I shoulda, coulda, woulda. We're so judgmental on ourselves. We don't take a time to sit and just be within ourselves and give your own self your flowers. Like, damn, like you did all right, kid. You did all right. So it's crazy that you asked that, because I didn't even think about that. But now that you did, it's like, yeah, I'm getting more like boom bap artists and pages, and my demographic of different things that I'm into. Chill hop pages is, yeah. So that's the growth that I see within like my following and stuff, since from when I first started 3-4 years ago till now.
Well, like I said, I'm proud of you, and I'm always going to respect and rock with you, because to me, you've proven yourself time and time again. And everybody who's just catching on to you, they late, but I'm glad they're here, because you deserve all the work that you've put in. You deserve all that. And speaking of work and deserving, it is now time for Nika's top 5. So, Nika, why don't you tell everybody about your segment, and let's talk about what's going on with you and what you want to bring to the table.
All right. So, if you're just tuning in to ANN on R&B, my segment is called Nika's Top 5. And what I do is I talk about the top 5, whatever it is that Nika wants to talk about as top 5, because I'm Nika. I'm just playing. Kind of. But no, seriously, I do my top 5. And tonight, actually, the topic is going to be top 5 songs that encourage women, that are just kind of put out there, and there's a lyric or a line or something in that song that just, you hear it and you like, yeah, that's for a woman, and that's encouraging that woman. It's not just all about, TNA all the time. Sometimes it's about more than that, we got to encourage our women. So TNA. Anyway. So this is in no particular order. I want to make sure I throw that disclaimer out there. It's not a number 5, number 4, number 3, number 2, number 1. None of that. So this is in no particular order. But first song I want to bring up is "Butterfly Girl" by DJ Spinner featuring DJ Spinner. Got to make sure I say that right. DJ Spinner featuring Eric Roberson. The very first lyrics of the song are, "Dear butterfly, time is so precious. Your purpose here is to fly." And so I think sometimes as women, and because this is women, I don't like saying Women's History Month. This is Women's Empowerment Month. This is Women's Appreciation Month. And so I think sometimes as women, we tend to forget the power that we have. We get so caught up doing everything else, and especially when it gets into a routine that it becomes effortless. And so I think sometimes we need to hear that time is so precious. Your purpose here is to fly. Don't get so caught up doing what you normally do that you forget what your purpose is. Your purpose is to glow and to fly and to be free. And so I want to, I heard that song and it was like, man, this is very encouraging for women. Of course, my cousin. What's up, T? My cousin Tiff says Brown Skin Girl by Beyonce. You can use it. Girls Run the World. Who Run the World? Yeah, like I love that song by Beyonce. Which is not on my list, but I'm just saying. The next one is Work That by
Oh.
Mary J. Blige. You hear that song comes on. Even Kamala Harris used it as her entrance music. Well, we're not doing that. Nope, not doing that. Because at the end of the day, she is a woman. I put politics aside. I'm just saying. She even used that song to walk out to. And I feel like at the end of the day, as a woman, you gotta, like, no matter how you're feeling. I've had a crappy past few days, but I still been strutting. Like, I haven't, and as a matter of fact, I said, this is March. I'm not wearing heels this month, and I'm not wearing makeup this month. But guess what? The way that I walk out when I enter my job tomorrow, they're going to think I got on heels, and they're going to think I got on makeup, because my goal is to work that like Mary J. advised in her song. So I want to make sure I say that. Number 3, Raheem Devon, Woman. Title says it for itself. And I actually took a screenshot of what the line that I wanted to pull out. But he says, I appreciate your strength. Thank you. How you never bite your lip. You always say what's on your mind. I think as a woman, we have to know that that's a power that we have. That we can say what it is that we need to say, because times have changed, and if they don't like it, then screw them. And that's actually a gift that I've just started to learn for myself. Number 2, because I had to go with my sister. Sister Queen Neveah has a song called Rising Phoenix, y'all. That's the one that I didn't want to pull out when I was talking about all these bars. But you have a bar in this song. It says, I turn my pain into power. I'm going to take off like I'm racing. Do you know how much power is in that bar? Just that bar by itself. It says, I'm going to turn my pain into power. Because if there's one thing, I was watching something on Instagram, and there was a gentleman who was saying that a woman never gives you back what you give her. If you give her a grocery, she's going to give you a meal. If you give her a house, she's going to give you a home. If you give her sperm, she's going to give you a baby. So if you give us shit, we're going to give you shit in return times 1,000,000, because guess what? We have turned all the shit that you've given us into power. It empowers us. And sometimes it takes a while. You talked about your healing journey. And so part of that healing journey is being able to turn that pain into power. It's being able to turn that pressure into power. And so I heard that lyric, and I was like, man, I don't think she understands that the sisters need to hear this. That's what needs to be said.
Appreciate you.
You're very welcome. And then the last song I have is called You Got It by Vito. I actually let Nas hear this song during the break before we came on. And one of the lyrics that he says in this song is, he says, it's time to boss up. Fix your credit, girl, get at it. Get your bag up. Hit that gym and get back fine. Go get that degree, girl, go. Focus on me, because he's trying to holler at her at the same time. He's like, unlock potential that you didn't know you had in you. Fuck that nigga. In other words, like, you've been so focused on him that now it's time for you to focus on you, and all of the things, like fix your credit and go back to school, get yourself together, throw a little makeup on, work yourself in those heels, because guess what? At the end of the day, if he ain't thinking about you anyway, this is the way I see it. And my brothers have heard me say this before. Healing looks good, but when any of my exes see me, I want them to look at me and say, damn, she looks healed. But I also want them to see me and say, she never looks shabby. You know, and not to say like I'm making them jealous or anything, but I really want them to know, like, okay, you hurt me, but like my sister Queen Neveah says, turn that crap that you gave me and I'm powerful. Look at me. So I feel like those top five from Nika's top 5, if anybody wants to just go and listen to them, and especially the women, if you're having an off day, I guarantee you pick a song, pick all of them, pick a few. Something in that playlist is gonna give you some get up and go. So that's Nika's top 5.
With that being said, Neveah,
I love that.
Neveah, is there a song that empowers you that you listen to that reminds you of your power and how strong you are?
There's a few of them. There's actually a few Jhené Aiko songs, who is my muse in just connecting with self and expressing and writing and tapping in there. But she has this song called Ways, WAYS. And it's really, stands for Why Aren't You Smiling? And she keeps repeating, gotta keep going. And it's like, that's like me, because I'm always on the move, and at any given time I could like just say fuck it all and just quit. But you got to keep going. Why are you not smiling? The world's gonna keep going. You got to keep moving with it. Like, you know, nothing stops. Everything keeps moving. So definitely that Jhené Aiko song Ways is that hits for me. Definitely one of them. Yeah.
Hey, you are a very inspirational person when it comes to music. Has there been a song that you heard from Neveah that gave you that certain oomph that made you look at or hear music a little different when it came from her?
You know what? The first song, and it still resonates within me, because it brings out a different side, and it allows an emotion of the perspective of a woman, is On the Low. I like that song a lot. When I heard it, it was like, okay, I like the sound, I like the vibe, and then I started to reading the lyrics, and I was like, oh, she's really
You're nasty.
Put it in.
You're nasty, eh?
I was trying to butter it up when she called me out.
I see. I was like, come on now. Oh, that was great.
I ain't the one that made the song though, so all right, but I like all together as a well put together song from start to finish. It stayed in the same concept. The gentleman that was on there.
Your lady's
that
prospect,
yeah. That everything really, I was like, yo, this is dope. Like I told Karev, I was like, yo, I like this, I like that. And that was before I saw you. Yeah. I'm not to be so judgmental as a be sexist as a man, but I was like, ain't she fine too? Damn. I went back and listened to that song again. Like, then I read the lyrics, and I was going through the lyrics, and I was like, it was like, boy, you know how to keep it on the low, trying to get lost in the zone. I was like, damn, that's really the things. But if you listen to music and a lot of R&B, you think about the old R&B, that's the kind of stuff you heard men sing about. So to hear a woman to be so intricate in a song, I was like, oh, okay, like she's on it too, like that. And not to be super nasty, because you know it is about what it is, but the perspective that you brought it in is it still changed the views, because it's a woman, and usually you hear women are very, very soft. They're not so rigid. Like you don't get a lot of Adina Howards, or you don't get a lot of those t-shirt and my panties on type songs, but you do get those. Break My Heart, but then there's a couple lines in that song. If you pay attention, it's slick. It's slick talking. So that's the song, Karev. If I can answer your question, On the Low is my all-time favorite from you. I love Rising Phoenix too, but because Rising Phoenix also was one of those songs where I listened to, I'm like, okay, she's showing her dynamics and as a lyricist, not just as an artist here. And it changed the dynamic perspective and everything that my dear sister here explained. So I'm not going to elaborate on something that was already spoken upon. But it did give that motivation, and you did give that inspirational in that, and that was a different dynamic versus, on the low, still my favorite joint though. So
Yeah, I appreciate you. I do.
yeah,
Thank you so much.
Yeah, he said it 5 times.
Adiyar's top 5.
but you know what? Being
Yo,
that we get into women appreciating a woman and her voice, her music, etc. I want to go to the next segment, which is Nas's wasted potential. So Nas, why don't you let everybody know what your segment is about and how it relates?
All right, check this out. What I give you is wasted potential. These are the songs on an album that didn't get the play that they should have got. Whether that was because the artist didn't like it or the company itself didn't like it. So, I'm gonna introduce you to a song, and I might introduce you to your new favorite song. Today I got something special for you. I got two. I got two for you. So the first one is Off the Rain. Neveah's Queen Neveah's Gotta Know. You already knew I was gonna pick that one, man. That song is a vibe. Word is born. That song is such a vibe. Yo, that's like me and Karev discussed this before. Like I could see that song like on the soundtrack or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of those songs. Like if you pop on the radio and that song come on, you're like, oh, that's my shit, right? You just start to, I can see that being played in the clubs and the whole nine, man. Like that's like on the R&B side, that's a dope ass song. Kudos to that one. I love that.
Respectfully,
song,
thank
man.
you. Thank you.
I
Thank
love that
you.
song. And since it is I like to call it Women's Appreciation Month, and I have the beautiful Queen Neveah on the show with us, I'm gonna dedicate this one to you. This one is called "Beautiful" by Noel Gourdin.
Okay.
Noel Gourdin off his 2011 Fresh the Definition album. All right, so the hook says it all. Beautiful from head to toe you are, a masterpiece made by the hands of God. You know what I mean? So he is it's a ballad that says you may have guys that call you out your name or give you cat calls and stuff like that, but I'm not gonna do all that. I'm gonna just call you beautiful. You know what I mean? And that's my
Love that.
wasted potential for today. Thank you.
Nice.
I must say,
Fire.
we got a lot of comments coming in. And I wanna ask Neveah something. Wasted potential does not mean an artist is not hitting their mark. As an artist that creates music that you feel, what is it like to create a song that you may not like, but you see the people go crazy for, and they say that's the one you should choose? What does that mean to you?
It actually shows me I need to get out of my head more. I make music for me, but I make music for the listener. And that's happened so many times. I'm like, yeah, this gonna be the one. And then it's like, nah, we like this one. Like, I think me and you, we've talked about that before. It's just like, you was like, yeah, gotta know that's the one. And I'm like, that's crazy. I never thought it. But hey, we just gonna rock out. Like, whatever you like it, I love it, So, but it taught me to just keep myself out of my head. Like anything could land anywhere. You know what I mean? You never know where God universe is gonna take you. So you just keep going. You ride that wave. You ride that wave.
I was gonna add to something that you said, because I know even like for me as an artist, I when you said that, it reminded me. I was in the studio a couple weeks ago, and I got to the studio, and it seemed like everything that could happen happened. Well, like I was hungry. And then I stopped. I was actually on the phone at the same time I'm headed to the studio. I'm on the phone with Nas and Karev, and I go to Wendy's because I'm like, I got to get something to eat. And I stopped to get some French fries, and I thought it was going to be something light, but I ended up eating the whole container of French fries. So by the time I got to the studio, I was full because of just off of French fries. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, I just need to sit here for a second so I can get my life right, because I can't sing if I got a full belly. So finally get to the mic, do a mic check. I'm like, yeah, let's go. We put the beat on, and all of a sudden I hear shh. And I'm like, what the hell is that? So I look back, I look at the engineer, I'm like, hey, what is that? And he goes, it's raining. I'm like, are you kidding me? And he's like, no, it was raining so hard that you could hear it come through the booth. Like it was just raining. So I had to wait for it. Like, so in addition to now being full and having to wait for my food to digest, I had to wait for the rain to stop. And so I had all of these things happen. So by the time I finally got to the song and I started singing the song, I'm like messing up the song. I'm pitchy. I'm like, nope, let me do that over. I don't like the way that sounded. Let me try this again. And I get so frustrated that I look at the engineer and I think I got really emotional and I was like, I hate this fucking song. Like I said it just like, I was like, I hate this song. And the engineer is like, okay, no negativity. And then like, no, you are not bringing this negativity into the studio. And I finally had a conversation with him afterward. I was like, I'm just at the point where I'm over this song. Like, I don't even like this song anymore. He says, and that's going to be the one that makes it. That's going to be the one. And it was so funny because I go back and I listen to it and I'm like, actually, the recording was amazing. I sounded really good. The harmonies came out fine and everything. But it was just a matter of like getting out of my own head. And so as an artist, I think that tends to happen to like all of us where we just get in our heads about something that we work really hard on.
Word. Yeah. That's what's up.
As we should.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
As we should.
We like Erykah Badu. Erykah Badu says, you know, keep in mind that I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit.
And I'm sensitive about my shit.
That's right.
So I'm just gonna chime in for 1 second. I think a wasted potential song once again shows your depth of creativity. Your song "Creep" is the song I like.
Yeah, that's a dope.
I love you. Shout out to Realist Promise on the hook with you, doing the male voice and that. I think the song "Creep" is something that could be cinematic. See, the one thing I love about your music is you don't just rhyme or sing. You actually make cinematic points of views in your songs. So like I said, you talk from the soul, you talk from the heart. If y'all want to know what "Creep" is, and I don't mean TLC's "Creep,"
fifth track.
So go to the album, check out the song, and realize that point of view and introspection makes a song come alive, not just your voice and a beat. When you give somebody circumstance and depth, that's when you know that you are a true artist, not somebody who's just doing something because you can. You know what I'm saying? And that's just something I want to say. Anybody got anything to add for that?
Nah.
Not at all? Not at all.
I'll wait for my
Creep
turn.
was a dope. Like when I first heard that, I heard the TLC. I'm like, you know, that's okay. It's a TLC beat. Then like she went into spitting. I'm like, yeah, I know them scenarios. You know what I mean? Like,
and I wanted to give it. I feel like there's no artist like Queen Neveah. Like I'm really tapped in. Period. And I'm like, no woman, no female artist ever addressed like our stupid shit that we do, because we creeps too. And there needs to be a woman that says it, that's confident enough to say it, and accept it and embrace it. Men are crazy, women are just as crazy.
Fact.
Popping up our
hell
jobs,
yeah,
we popping up
hell
too.
yeah,
it's not a gender thing. It's a individual thing. Everybody got
right.
Tone that shit the fuck down, but everybody got a little crazy, you know. Yeah. Why you such a creep? You know, I see you scheming. You can keep on dreaming. You know, like both ways. I don't believe in double standards. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gail Campbell in the check in.
Yo, shout out to Gail Campbell.
So another thing that we doing here.
I love her.
Another thing that we doing here is we set the mood. Sometimes there's music that makes you just want to suck on somebody's neck ever so softly with something to drink. Sometimes you want to put your arm around somebody, kiss an elbow, kiss your shoulder, and throw an ankle in the air. You never know. So Big A segment is called Setting the Mood. And he pairs a song with the fragrance that might not only get you lucky, but get you fulfilled and tired at the end of the night as well. So Big A, is there something that you would like to highlight tonight?
Hold on a second, Big A, before you get started, let me gulp this wine down. The way he just said all of that, I'm like, damn, what am I missing out in life?
Oh man. So on this week, with Big A, setting the mood. First, I figure I'll bring some props this time. So, generally I talk about it. So, this week, of course I have some incense, some blunt lights. I had to set it all. Make sure you had the incense. She spoke of some henny, so I got some henny
Yes,
here. Make
period.
sure
Let's
you
go.
got some henny, and then in the background, when everything all spells, you always have music in the background. No, I don't know too many people who like to have that real intimate moment and not have the music to set the mood. So this week's setting the mood would be coming from our artist, very own artist, Neveah, on the low. And my favorite quote, one of my favorite quotes of this song is "Choke me till I black out." That touched my soul when she said that. Touch my soul. Touch my soul. You hear me? Touch my. She said, "I got that
Yo.
good ooh wee." Hit it till he passed out. Woo! But then, in order to get somebody close to you, you always want to smell good. I have a unisex fragrance for this week. It's actually by Christian Dior. It's called Vanilla Diorama. And this right here, if you want somebody to get up on you and you want to keep it on the low, you smelling like this, oh, they going with it. They going with it. The hell with the Henny. They going with it. They definitely going with it. The Henny is just the icing on the top. So that, Christian Dior Vanilla Diorama is the fragrance of the week. Now, this is not something cheap because, Christian Dior isn't just the average Joe Blow fragrance dealer. So you have to dig in your pockets a little bit, but it's definitely worth it. It's a small bottle. And believe it or not, this right here costs almost half a grip. So this right here is real stuff. But this smells amazing. I've worn this and forgot I had it on and I had the sniff test. Like somebody literally grabbed me in a hug, like, yo, what's that? Like, you sniffing me, and I'm like, man, you don't know about the Queen Neveah? We're gonna keep it on the low. But it's definitely it's,
Yo, the way he
it's definitely it's definitely worth it's definitely worth the smell. So anybody out there want to maintain, smelling good, keeping it on a low, if you can afford it, I suggest to get this bottle right here. It's worth it. Look, you see, I barely use it. I've had this for a long time. I barely use it, but it's worth every freaking penny. Christian Dior, Vanilla Diorama.
Yes.
Sarcasm is what he does best, but he's not playing. He is very serious.
There was
tonight.
no sarcasm.
There was no joke tonight.
I was going to say he has shot all kinds of shots and arrows and everything at you tonight. Check. You might want to check your walls to see if there's bullets in your walls because
I was ready. I was ready for the Queen tonight.
Oh, I see. You was real ready.
So he has been shooting his shots.
So let's ask Neveah. There's a certain mindset when it comes to creating a song. When you go into creating a song, are you establishing the feel, or are you letting the beat bring the feel out of you when you're in creation mode?
Definitely the beat. I'm all about music. You know what I mean? I need to feel moved first. That's always the start of everything. Without a beat, where do our lyrics go? So I always wait for the right beat, the right instrumental. I see how it moves me. I see what sounds give me tingles, and then my mind will just start thinking of flows, and then it flows. But it's always the beat. Like I don't usually write like just and have stuff on deck. I wait till I get the beat, and then if I vibe with it, I'll write to it. If not, next.
Nika, you have anything you want to pick up with?
Yeah. I know you said your first love was Broadway, and you studied theater. Do you notice that sometimes you use those same like breathing techniques and things like that when you rap? Like, is it important to take that even from theater to R&B to hip hop? In addition to that, I just wanted to ask, like, do you notice that you do it in your everyday life? Like like breathing, like do you
Yes.
breathe with your diaphragm just like you're sitting there?
Yes.
Okay.
You have to breathe from the diaphragm. Okay.
Yes.
That's where it comes from. Okay. If I did not have that, I gotta be honest, I don't think I would be as a strong performer as I am. That I think that's the one up that I do have is I'm not just an artist that makes good music, that writes good music, that no, like I could perform my ass off. You feel me?
Right.
And that came from years of technique and learning the breathing techniques and where that's too wordy. I gotta get that breath in there. You know, it's like
Yep.
you get it, you know what I mean? So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like without that, I mean, that's every day. Even like vowel placement in singing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, am I too wide? I gotta keep it more all the time. All the time. Even rapping, I use certain things like I need to switch how my mouth is forming these words to make it sound like this because we're from Jersey. We have an accent.
Lord.
I took diction class and I didn't even know. I was like, nah, this is how we talk. What you mean? That's how we talk. Like, and they're like, talk? There's no W. But it's like, it's a Jersey, New York thing. You know?
Lord. Talk.
It
Lord.
really is.
Give
Yes.
me some coffee. I'm gonna walk my dog.
Yep.
That's it. We
You
going
gotta
down
get
the
some
shore.
water.
You know?
You gotta get some water for your daughter.
Right,
Like
some
my
water.
ex-boyfriend was from Long Island. He's like, where
Ain't
you
nothing
from?
wrong
I'm
with
from
daughter.
Long Island. Long Island.
Yeah, so
nah.
it's like even things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nas, you next. Anything you want to ask before we start closing out?
Yeah. From Rising Phoenix to Bob Hope, I see you put a lot of like personal stuff like in your music. How much of your music is you, and how much is like just scenarios off the head?
Everything is me.
Mm.
Everything. I'm very transparent in my music. I never wrote something and was like, that didn't happen. Like even Highway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Highway, trust me, I've been in those situations, been one hell of a day. Like
All right.
those scenarios, that's my fun side, having a good time, you know?
Right.
On the low, like everything I write
On the low.
Queen Neveah. It's a piece of me. It's like I'm giving out puzzle
Oh
pieces
my
in all my music. And when
Yeah.
I leave this earth, y'all gonna piece it all together and you gonna be like, oh wow. You get what I'm saying? Because it's always me. And that's why I said in an interview, like I can never be a ghostwriter. I can't write for nobody. I couldn't because I put so much of me on my paper. Like how could you get what I'm saying? Like that's me.
Yeah.
I couldn't give that away.
Right.
Word.
Yeah.
Adiar, you got some?
Yes.
And the question cannot be, will you marry me?
Come on. No. But you do write, you said you write music from your experiences, as most entertainers and songwriters do. Since you threw on a low in your conversation just now, I just want to ask, what do you listen to when you set the mood for, I guess if you have a significant other, I don't know or not, but what is your soundtrack of setting the mood?
That's so funny. So I'm very much like yo, put on a beat, we about to freestyle. Like that's me. That's why I'm so single. I'm very tapped into like
Hold on. In an intimate moment, you want to freestyle? Like, yo, I'm about to put it on you.
Moments. I don't got that many intimate moments. If I have to, I'll stay like, the old school R&B flavor, maybe a little Janae, but I don't know. Like I can't even lie to you. I'm so focused on my music. Like that's my intimacy for me. Like that's me. She said it before, like you've given up so much of your life to cater to other aspects and other people and all these areas of everything else that has nothing to do with you. And I finally get a space to do that. And I'm taking full advantage right now. And I'm evolving in that space and I'm loving me every day even more. So my intimacy is like really me writing just alone by myself, And sometimes, trauma does that. You kind of just want to be alone for a little bit. So yeah, if when I used to like be intimate in those moments, yeah, you put on little songs, you know what I mean?
So
But
what you put on? Throw me a
I
song.
will put on, let me see. Damn, it depends. Like, is it like a Hennessy night or is it like a
Oh yeah,
Prosecco night? What kind of
it's a
night is it?
Hennessy. Ain't no
Oh, it's a
time
Hennessy
frame.
night.
It's ding ding and it's on.
Damn, we may have to listen to like a Trey songs or like a. Oh, you know what song really really hot? Marcus
What's that?
Houston, Naked.
Oh, that's a classic. Yeah, that's a
That song
classic.
right there.
Yeah. On repeat.
That's a on repeat. What? Hello. On the low.
On the law.
Let me change this, please. Let me change this. You've been Queen Neveah has been inducted in the tribe of Stanley Ipkiss.
Ooh,
She has
yes.
some Ipkiss music, and I want to ask you, Ipkiss makes beats that are very intricate and will push not only your voice but your talent. After working with Stan Ipkiss, what did you know about yourself, and what do you take from that experience into working with other producers who may want to work with you as well?
He made me more hungrier. Like him he did that All Hail to the Queen track. That pushed me way out of. I didn't even know I could write like that. Like I didn't know. Like I'd be humble. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I need to start talking my shit. Like it just made me want to talk my shit, and it made me want to rock with other producers that's gonna push me. Like I'm like, I have so much more to give. You know what I mean? I keep hearing people be like, you holding back, you holding back. I'm like, well, shit, maybe I am, and I gotta find that person that's gonna like push that fullness out. You know what I mean? And honestly, rocking with Ipkiss, I I thank you so much for that because you sent him my way. And if it wasn't for you, like what? You did something here. You knew what you was doing, Karev. You knew what you was doing, and you did it, yo.
Dr.
And I'm
Evil
so
strikes again.
grateful. No, he did so good, and I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah.
Because he and even right now, like he sent me like a beat yesterday. Like, you know what I mean? We still working, and it's a beautiful thing when you have a complex producer and then a complex artist, and you marry them together, and it's like, oh damn, like we coming with the shit. So be ready. You know what I mean? So definitely he pushes me for sure.
All right, so before we close out the show, I like to say it was an honor to get to speak with you on this platform again on this way because you invite me to so many things, and unfortunately, life is going on, and I can't make it to so many things. But every time I've seen you perform, I walk away very proud of you. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, and my friends down here let you know. People send me music all the time, and I don't want to hear that shit. I don't care. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not really beat. But when there's somebody who impresses me, and I personally believe in, especially Big A, because he's me and him talking about music more than anything. I will go to the moon to talk about you to everybody. Listen,
Yes, you will.
I did it with Lil Brother. You see where Lil Brother at, right? I did it with Samaj Savage. You see where Lil Samaj Savage is at, right? And I'm predicting for you, you're going to be on television on the stage one day, and somebody's going to say, who is that girl? And that's going to be the day the woman on the stage blossoms into a new mind and a new heart, and you're going to change somebody's life. I mean that. I'm speaking that into fruition right now. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to
Thank
Noah.
you. I appreciate you.
Actually, you know what? I have a question for you, Neveah. I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Will you follow me on Instagram?
Did you follow me first?
Yeah, I'll follow you. Come on. How would I know about your pictures?
Follow you. I will. You're right. But people look. They don't follow. They could be looking.
Yeah,
but
that's a good point.
I promise you, I'm gonna follow you.
And that's a creep. Word is born.
Yes.
So before we get out of here, we're gonna go to the song of the week, and we're gonna let everybody come out and give their song of the week. Like I said, I'm gonna go last. At this time, this is when you promote your album. Matter of fact, this is when you promote your album and your creativity. So Neveah, go ahead. You got the stage.
So my EP NV1 is out on all streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music. You can listen to it on YouTube. You could check the link in my bio on Instagram. All the links for everything Queen Neveah is all there, so you can stream all my music. NV1 is out. The music video to Highway is out right now on YouTube. Check that out if you haven't. I got a few other my freestyles up there. Rising Phoenix music videos up there. So make sure y'all tap in with me. Follow me on Instagram at The Real Queen Neveah, Neveah, The Real Queen Neveah. Subscribe to my YouTube. Just search me, Queen Neveah, and just tap in because MV2 is on the way. I'm not dropping no release date, but MV2 is definitely on the way, and I'm so excited for y'all to keep getting that real royalty. You feel me?
And ladies and gentlemen, it's always good to stream, but here you go. She's worth the purchase. Buy the music because in after Donald Trump and then slow Biden's administration, all I can tell you is if the internet ever goes down and you don't own your music, you're only renting your music. That this is an artist with music worth having. So please, not only for yourself, but for your soul. Just like I asked you and tell you, Nika's music is worth having. Her music is worth having as well. Look, make sure you tap in and support because if you sow into the artist, not only do you get more music, you give them opportunity to give you the music that you want. You see what I'm saying? So it's time for us to get out of here. So we're going to give you our songs of the week. I'm going last, of course. So I'm going to go with the songstress first. Nika, what is your song of the week that you want people to check out and listen to?
Okay, Queen Neveah, you might want to listen to this one too, because I don't know. I heard it and I was like, okay. The name of the song is Ass Like That by Victoria Monet. And it's not,
I'm here for it.
So she's in this song and she says, met him about 2 months ago, said his name was Jim and that he make me better than before. So the whole time I'm listening to the song, I'm like, oh, she met some dude named Jim and whatever. And then it dawns on me one day, it's like, oh, she's talking about going to the gym. So it's like a workout song. And it's like, I've been going to the gym. My personal trainer's been working me and these heads are turning and he wants to know how she got an ass like that. And she's like, I don't have a BBW. It's literally because I'm in the gym and I'm working and I'm squatting. So it's just this women, it's an empowering song, but she's like, you wanna know how she got that ass like that. I mean, it's an amazing song. So yeah, that's my song. Victoria Monet, Ass Like That.
Hey, I'm gonna ask Rick James at the bottom of the screen. Big A, what's your song of the week, yo?
Well, since you see my hand gesture, you may have thought I was being a perverted person, but no, I was actually referring to my song of the week, which is Touchy Feely by Ro James. Now, if you've never heard of Ro James is a person who has a soulful song, smooth voice. And this song is a little play on the title Touchy Feely because it's a variation of Touchy Feely, but it's definitely a mood setter. It's one of the songs I would definitely play if I was setting the mood too. So my song of the week, Touchy Feely, Ro James.
All right, Nas the Romantic. What you got?
I got One Love by Noel Gourdin off his first album.
Yes, love Noel Gourdin.
Yeah, baby, what about us? Yeah, that's right there, man.
We can't go an episode without singing.
I can.
That's because you don't want to break it down for us. We just expect you to hit that singing.
It's that that's that song is like, I've been checking for you, man. So like, what's up? What about us? You know what I mean? So that's my song for the week.
I can't sing, y'all, so don't ever expect me to you know what I'm saying? My song of the week is a dedication song to what Queen Neveah does in the community, because you have like a workout thing also, right? That you dance with people.
Well, that's two different things. So I'm a certified fitness trainer and I'm a dance teacher too. So I do.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
See,
Jada Ball tricks, baby.
That's what you see. That's what you see when you follow her on that Instagram, by the way, if you're looking, you know what I'm saying? And
well, I look for other things. So
I
sorry.
was gonna say Artier's mouth is wide open until he talks just this.
I look for other things. So sorry.
But
Oh
to just to show you how well rounded Queen Neveah is, will work. Jesus, to talk with things that she does in the community as far as dancing and fitness. There's a song out now by Chops the Savior called Chisel. You know what I'm saying? Another Stan Ipkiss beat that's good for dancing to get your workout on. Maybe, Neveah do something with the song, but more importantly, I wanted to give you respect, not only as somebody who's doing art, but you're helping people in their lives with health and fitness, and that is an art. That's the art of health. So I wanted to give you that respect as well, just to show, ladies and gentlemen, when we talk to you or talk to people on A&N or R&B podcast, we not just listening to the music. We respect the artist's life. We respect the artist's perspective. And just know, I see on Heritage Hip Hop that we introduce you to your future favorite artist today. Well, and in the R&B, we have R&B talk with the hip hop soul, and the soul of hip hop is peace, love, unity, and having fun. And with that, Queen Neveah is the epitome of the R&B and the hip hop, and we honor you. Thank you for coming on the show today. We appreciate you so highly. Thank you so much.
Salute. Thank you so much.
So Nas, you know what to do. Take us out of here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, Neveah, for the wonderful interview. And
thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
So
yes.
Yeah, Nas, good.
So until then, from all of us that ain't in the R&B, until we meet again, we'll be thinking of you.
Peace.